Good morning. So yesterday, after my reading, I felt like I was pretty big. I need a glass of water. Lately, I don't know if anybody could tell, but my throat was just like, my voice didn't want to fully come through. I tried to do this reading about 3 times because I keep having calls and texts and everything else coming in. So I finally just put it on airplane mode, and I'm shutting out the world for a few minutes because I need to get through this. I've tried 3 times. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just go ahead and start from the beginning. Yesterday, the whole point of this was to go ahead and start communicating the different collectives that I'm seeing right now. And I was picking up on 3 groups, so everything was really muddled to me. I feel like I've been working on like years worth of different messages coming through, and I'm really just starting to play catch up with it all. It's like literally your boss handing you like 17 different files because there wasn't time to do them, and here you go. You need to sort this all out and figure it out. And what I'm trying to do is now I'm trying to tune in more into specific different groups because I feel like I need to go ahead and give you guys the messages on each different group's processes and how to move forward. You're gonna notice I'm on the struggle bus with talking. I'm gonna try to push through it. So what I did is I went ahead and threw all the cards. I did part of my reading and the phone calls kept coming through. So instead of dealing with a video that's gonna keep cutting in and out, I'm starting over fresh, but I already have everything laid down. So the group that I wanted to focus on are the ones that are cutting their ties. They're the ones that are going through the breakups. They're the ones that are going through firings from their job. They're the ones where it seems like life is literally caving in on them. Okay, and there is a reason why this is here. This is trying to tell us, if you notice, there are no leaves, there is no grass, there is no water. You are not focusing on yourself on a way emotionally that you know you deserve. You cannot grow in a barren environment. The worm moon is here to tell us to be practical with how we're receiving love and how we're giving love. And the only way to do this is to look at our environment and cut the strings that bind us. This also goes into cutting our own self-limiting beliefs that we have. There's a lot of us that put ourselves in situations that we really don't belong in, and we know it in here. But we try to justify it up here because we keep trying to push and push and push. Well, maybe if I do this, it'll get better. Maybe if I do this, it'll get better. No, walk away. Life is literally throwing itself at you to walk away. You can't grow within yourself. You can't be able to move forward in a healthy way where your cups are filled if we continue to stick to the gossip, if we feed into the fears, if we continue to keep ourselves in a low vibration, eating junk food, and looking at entertainment sources to fill our needs. It's not there. The only way you can do this is by focusing in here. I don't want to be one of those tarot readers where I'm focusing in on, oh, all those strings mean your partner's cheating. That's not necessarily what it means. I mean, granted, I am picking up on some of that. But anyway, the whole point of this card is to point out the truths that we need to get away from all this. You don't have to do it confrontationally. We don't need to start fights and feed back into that negative energy. We just need to cut it and move forward. We don't even have to really say anything to do it. Just go with the flow. The next card was the Ace of Swords. So yesterday we had the Page of Swords. This is a card, as well as that one, that's telling us we're making a singular decision based on a single moment that really concludes our decision to move forward. Okay? There's an ascension process with this. Your intuition and your higher self is calling you to a place of oneness. It's the law of one. When you damage yourself, you damage those around you. This is calling us to look at our intuition and find that guiding light to bring us home. We have paths that are being aligned right now, and we need to align our chakras to receive that energy that's coming in. We have a lot of people right now who are seeing things that they don't quite understand. And it could be seeing spirals. That's telling you to align. If you're seeing a white light in your dreams, follow the white light. There's a lot of DNA activations going forward right now for the future. And your future is calling you home. The Queen of Swords here, that's someone who's standing in their truth, okay? They've made the decision to cut everything out, but they're feeling emotionally unfulfilled. The swords tend to deal with facts, and it's a hard fact. to accept that we're not living to our truest potential. And we can feel guilty if we're not living within our potential. We know there's more out there for us. But we've kept hanging on and justifying our actions and our gossip and our negativity and our criticisms towards ourselves and everybody else to avoid what's really going on. And when we continue to balance our emotional and spiritual side, we can start looking out to greener pastures. If you notice, there's a fog. Yesterday, it was very foggy here, and I had music playing on the radio because that's kind of like my leading guide. And it was the Open My Heart to Me by Madonna. And then the Memory song with Adam Levine and Maroon 5. And it's telling us that we need to lift the fog on ourselves. We need to see the environment for what it is. We need to take people's words at their truth. Or even the lack of that, their silence is the truth. They're telling you what you need to hear. And the universe is telling you what you need to hear. And you're telling yourself what you need. But we have to accept what that is instead of continuing to place ourselves back in that old position. If people keep coming back from your past that didn't serve you, it's okay to say no. That is the hardest part of the journey. Saying no doesn't mean it's a negative thing. Saying no means you're honoring yourself. You'll know in your heart if it's right or not. Until we start seeing that, we need to lift the fog. There will be clarity coming. You'll have your options. If you see here, the snake is running away. Well, not running, but slithering, whatever. And they're running, or they're slithering with that water that's going away. We're creating new opportunities for ourselves. We're climbing higher ladders. We can have people who are starting new jobs and they don't know where they fit in. That's fine. You may be going back to education and you're trying to choose what's going to be within your best interest. Follow your gut instincts on this. And if you need to take a little bit of time to figure it out, understand that intuition, that guiding light is going to bring you to where you need to be. The downloads that are coming from the collectives are telling us that we need to look at our shadow side. We need to start working on our inner behaviors and our inner language about ourselves. And the one thing that people tend to get confused, they always want to have proof right in front of them before they make the decision. That's self-limiting behaviors. Okay? We don't need the proof. We have the proof in here. And just because we can't see the proof doesn't mean that we're not already being guided. Because what's going to happen is you have to have the feeling of knowing your worth and knowing it's right before it's going to manifest for you. We have to flip that around. If you're looking for concrete evidence at that door that needs to be opened, we're looking in the wrong way. We're looking at 3D. We need to go to 5D here. Okay, your intuition is going to guide you where you need to go because you have the key right behind you. When you do the inner work and you start seeing through all that bullshit and you start ascending on your climb, you're going to find the key. But we don't find it in the middle of everybody else. We find it from within. The options are coming. There's a clarity. There could be air signs that are involved with the clarity here. I'm not for sure. Because what I'm seeing is we have a lot of water and earth and air coming in. And I'm picking up on a lot of fire energy. So maybe we have a lot of water signs that are moving forward with that fire energy because they need to just ignite their inner fires in order to let go, because we've had an energy that's contained within us and we don't understand it. It can make us flighty. It can make us feel restless, and it's time to let that cup go. And like I said, it's in a cage. How are you letting it go? We have to place ourselves in new positions, and we have to put ourselves within a positive circle in order to move forward. We have to start filling our cups, and that's what he's trying to convey. We have to be careful about the people we choose. We have to be careful about the stuff we read. We have to be careful about how the way we speak of ourselves and other people. If we continue along the lines of negativity, feeding into fear, the chaos, and distractions that life is trying to throw at us, we're not going to see which cup is ours to fill. And there could be multiple cups you need to fill. You may have several gifts within you that the world is trying to get out. And within those gifts, you're going to find those cups. The Justice card. Okay, so there's been a lot of gossiping. There's been a lot of drama within our own circles. We're finding that those people are starting to get a little bit of lashback. Whatever is coming at you anymore, once you move on from those, it's going to dissipate. Okay? There's a shadow side again. You're going to find the balance within yourself. You're going to find the balance with that outward as well. But we have to cut the strings that bind us to get to that point. And yeah, it sucks when you own up to your own mistakes, but the accountability is what's needed to move forward. And you can't beat yourself up over it. You can't be sitting there talking to yourself like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I'm so stupid, blah, blah, blah. That's not living in your truth. That's not self-love. So what you need to do is start balancing your inner dialogue. It's here to ground us. Start speaking to yourself better. Pick out things that you like about yourself and start pushing forward with that. There could be also people who are looking at appearances. And I've kind of been picking up on all that. And there's people out there, they want to do their hair, they want to do a new wardrobe, they're trying to freshen up. Be careful of spending your money, but it doesn't hurt to self-love a little bit. If you want to get your hair done, go ahead. You want to get your nails done, go ahead. It makes you feel good about yourself. It ups our vibrations when we feel good and we have self-love. And the people who are trying to draw conclusions on gossip when they don't even have the full truth, they're not going to get anywhere. So you don't need to worry about the crickets in the grass. Just keep on stepping. They're there. You can hear them. Just keep moving. It's not going to work to feed into it because you know it's just going to bring more lashback. You're not serving yourself. You're not proving anything. And that's the thing. If you feel like you have to prove yourself to others to fit in, then it just shows you right there. That's not your spiritual crew. That's not your family. 3 Cups. You're going to begin finding that true north within yourself. You have to do the spiritual work that comes along with it, that shadow side, really working on our egos, getting rid of our egos, and your soul family will be coming. You will be finding alignment with your job, emotions, by staying grounded. The celebrations and the abundance is coming. And I have a sense to tell everybody we need to embrace our feminine side a little bit more. There's a lot of masculinity out there, and there's a duality within all of us. We both have a masculine side, we both have a feminine side. Personally, I lean towards the masculine, and I'm really trying to work on the femininity part. That's going to give us a different perspective as well, because you're going to feel that energy exchange within yourself. The 4 of Wands, like I said, we're going to be starting to celebrate with new careers, new foundations. Some people are literally moving. Some people are literally going to do different jobs. They could be quitting their jobs, starting new businesses, whatever the case may be. And that's going to be there to help with your own spiritual journey. I did bring out the Oracle collection earlier, Star Ancestors. So for a little bit of clarity, what we're doing is we have our intuition that's guiding us. They're trying to show us symbols. They're trying to speak to us through music. They're trying to speak to us through coins, feathers. I mean, there's signs everywhere. Yesterday, there was a squirrel. I'm always looking outside to our tree. And there's a squirrel during this reading that just happened to pop up. And that's telling me, 1, don't go squirrelish with all your freaking attitudes. And number 2, you really need to prepare yourself. Stay grounded. Squirrels they can be really feisty creatures. But if you notice, they're the ones that carry the acorns. So you're really going to have to fight for your beliefs in a new vulnerable space once you start moving forward. That vulnerability is normal. You know, everybody, once you start getting into a new perception of things and you start letting your guards down, you feel like you're lost. But the guidance is coming. Lost wisdom. Look a little deeper. It's coming. Keep looking at yourself. Keep peeling back why you feel a certain way you do. When you get to the source of your triggers and your emotional awareness and understand why you feel the way you do and at what point in your life you started feeling like that, the dots will start to connect. It can take a long time to get there, and that's fine. A lot of us are going into hermit mode. Us getting all these energy updates, we're sitting here like we're trying to process this. This is a big deal. And yeah, this morning when I got up, I felt like I had gone out drinking the night before. I'm just tired. I feel hungover. I get headaches. Today last night I had that spiral message come to me. Yes, I need to align. I need to protect myself. Envision the white light. Envision the purple light. It's going to protect you. Called. So like I said, everybody is getting put in a place. Okay? People are moving along certain crystal grids. They're being placed where they need to be for a certain activation that's coming forward for our light to raise the vibration of the fifth, to the fifth dimension. Unless we change our perception and what we put into ourselves, it slows down the process. We can't have everything right now. But the people that are being called home, okay, there's that small moment within you. There's a certain emotional resonance that's very light and airy. That's that purity. That's what's calling you home. It doesn't need to be an overwhelming urge or an overwhelming feeling. I mean, I get that now that I understand where it came from to begin with those small moments. But whatever guiding light that you're seeing, whatever symbols that you're seeing, start to research what they mean in your life. They have a relevance. The Seven Sisters. So, this kind of go hand in hand. We have Queen of Swords and we have the Seven Sisters. What we're doing right now, with coming aware of all of our own truth and the truth around us, and we're being able to stand on our own 2 feet, we're able to start attracting the tribe that's going to be there to support us. And with manifestation, there's a duality to it. A lot of people think that when they say, well, I want this, they're actually in turn saying, well, I don't want this and this and this. That's not how it works. The universe doesn't pick up on that. You're not calling together your tribes, your gifts, and your spirits when you focus on the lack place. And there can be an addiction with manifestation where people think, well, I'm trying so hard. I'm thinking about it all the time. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Okay, stop. If you want peace in your life, just say, I want peace, and let it go. If you want to find that soulmate, define what you actually need. When I was younger, I focused on 3 quality things. I wanted someone who was loyal, supportive, and honest. That's it. And I let it go. It found its way home. I'm with that other half now. I don't say twin flames and things like that because I feel like there's this new age propaganda around it. These divine interventions and these divine relationships are there for an emotional support to give you the platform that you need to be in an emotionally independent way. They're going to push you and push you and push you. Okay? The shadow side work that you're doing, that's what leads us there. You open your heart to what you really need. You got the love. Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. Focusing on your boundaries right now is crucial. You have love to give. A lot of people get stuck right here. You're so far from your messages that are right behind you that your negativity or the negativity around you is literally consuming your life. Once you make that decision and that final call to start standing in your truth and stick up for what you need, the universe will find its way for you. You're then telling the universe that, yes, I deserve love. I deserve to give love. Understanding those triggers is what's going to help you give the love. We all have this work to go through. Some of us just go through it a little faster. And I have the need to tell you guys, really watch what you're eating. Yesterday I picked up on culinary. And I think that goes back into the idea that there's so many processed foods. Like personally, I'm allergic to a lot of food. I can't even eat fruit. I have such a severe pollen allergy. I can't even eat fruit. It just shows how much things have been genetically altered. And staying away from milk and cheese and all those extra mucus producing things are going to help you during the summer. I kind of want to pick up on a little bit more though. I already have them falling out. Okay. Alright, the Judgment. I have a feeling this is more internally driven. Death or rebirth. Okay. People who are stuck in that pattern and they're leaving those old relationships behind. You're not serving yourself because you think you're not worthy. You are worthy. You just have to figure out how to get through all that emotional fog. There's a light within you, and it starts slowly. And maybe one day you're not as harsh on yourself. And maybe one day you actually compliment yourself. It could be you actually just honestly felt a pure love from somebody because you're receiving a compliment the way it should be. It starts in baby steps, and that's where that rebirth starts coming in. You're going to see all the shadows, but you're going to feel the light. Articulate to yourself what you're doing good. Articulate to yourself and the universe what you would like to work on, but also articulate that you're trying to accept it. Okay? Acceptance is the number one thing. When we break away from all the bullshit, we're gonna hate ourselves. I mean, that's fine. We've all made mistakes, but you're being too hard on yourself. You're blocking the goodness that's starting to come from your options. When we hold on to this, you're creating a block, and you're doing it to yourself. Don't feel guilty. We all do it. But just recognize it and start choosing differently. We got to be like this. Let the bullshit fall. Let it go. Ground yourself. These self-judgments that we're going through is a part of the shadow work process. And a lot of the big things yesterday that we kept pulling out is timing, 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 timing. It's going to happen when it's right. We can't force our way through to make things happen. I kept hitting stop sign after stop sign after stop sign yesterday. And I started getting frustrated like I always do. And and then I had to recognize it. When I started getting frustrated, I said to myself, there's a reason for this. There's a message. And I had pulled up because I was taking my dog to the vet. And I finally reached that final stoplight before I turned left. And a truck came by, and it said, roadway, your way. The signs of validation are there if we stop to look in our environment. The song's coming on the radio. Shallow's coming on a lot. People are ready for change. People are ready to find that person that helps fill their cup. But the thing is what you have to realize about that codependency is that divine union that's there is not to complete you by being who you should be or hearing what you feel like you should be told. They're there to give us that stable platform of support. And unless we went through all the bullshit before, we're not going to recognize, we're not going to be able to return that self-love to ourselves, and we can't celebrate in the true new foundations. So there's a level of appreciation that's trying to come out, and life is trying to teach you that. Wait, just like I said, everything is in the divine timing. Everything you're putting in there will come back with abundance, and you're going to feel alone for a little while. You may feel isolated. That's okay. There's a purpose to all this. It's giving you the time you need to heal. The I'm sorry, writing past wrongs and uprooting. Acknowledge the guilt, acknowledge by being accountable to yourself, but don't stay stuck there. That's going to open that new portion of yourself that you've never appreciated before. Or school, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. It keeps coming back to education. And we need to dig deep. I'm not talking about just go to CNN and start looking up things for education or, looking at the news that's out there. There's a deeper connection to all of who we are. And that spiritual void that you have right now, that is what is calling you home. That little light. There's the light at the end of the tunnel. Once you get through and you start educating yourself as to, for example, you can Google different ways. Yeah, obviously Google. But the education that you're about to receive is self-love. The education that you're about to receive is learning about the gifts. If you follow your intuition, there's a divine calling. We're being placed along the crystalline grids where we need to be, because I really believe that our energy needs to be at a certain place at a certain time for us to be able to project the love and the light that we do have. It's pulling us to a higher vibration as a whole collective. And the three groups that I'm feeling, I'm really feeling a fourth, because those are the guides that are pushing us. They're screaming at us. And we have to open that door and say, okay, I'm here to learn. What can I learn about myself? How can I learn to put my gifts forward? How can I articulate myself? We learn as we go along. But if you hold on to the guilt and shame because somebody else said you weren't supposed to do it, screw them. They're not you. How do they know? Those people are going to try to pull you under. Just walk away. They're crickets in the grass. So, to be honest, I have a feeling to go back to the other deck after looking at this. Again, Earth School just popped back up. Earth pulsing. Ground yourself. Pulse of the mother. Slow down. Time in nature. Go out and enjoy. Stop being stuck to the 9 to 5 and always going home. Start seeing new things. Feel the grinding. Oh my gosh. The circle of life is calling. Okay? And we need to get rid of our negative energies by getting out there and going and doing things and things that make us happy. We have more social networks pushing forward, meaning you're going to get out there and you're going to start meeting those new people. But you really have to articulate the people that you need in your life. That's how they start coming. And then you put yourself in that place to let it start happening. It comes when it's time. So let's go back to this other one that I'm being called to do. So, okay. All right, the Magician. Okay. So once we get through the self-love process and getting past all of our bad juju towards ourselves, we're going to be manifesting this life, okay? We're already putting the work into it. We're breathing in and out the new air that's out there, the new energies that are out there. We've done the learning that we need to do. Everybody's path is unique, but granted, the collective lines up. But what I'm saying is you have a specific skill set that's out there for you. And you are manifesting along that vibrational energy to pull in and make happen what is supposed to happen for your calling. Knight of Wands. I have a feeling towards August. Summer and August. Or summer and starting of fall. The fire energy is coming out. Granted, yeah, we're going to go into Scorpio season. But anyway, long story short, there's a passion within you that's burning. You're in receiving mode. You're working. You're understanding more of what you're doing. You found the goodness within you and you're celebrating in that. And she don't care about anybody else. You notice this is an individual journey. There are people that are placed along our path that are going to help celebrate this new life we're manifesting, okay? But this is an individual journey just for you. This isn't validation for other people. This is yours. This is your story, your validation. Validation comes in here. Two of Wands. There's a traveling coming up, okay? People are getting out there. They're going to be traveling. They're going to be starting new jobs. They're going to be seeing the world. She holds on to her power. Nobody else is doing that for her. She's looking out. She's found the clarity. And some of us are going to have to actually follow the urge of where we want to go for vacations, or even just following the urge to, I want to go to Sephora today. There may be somebody there that you're supposed to be connected to. Follow the urges. That's going to keep you on your path. The Hangman. This was actually upside down. Normally I don't read reversals. But this is a card of you finally let go. This goes right here. Okay? You've done the work to put in what you need. You've done the work of understanding how you need to articulate things. You've done the work of understanding the emotional process you've been through. And you can learn to live in your love and light. Because not only are you receiving love, but you've learned to give love. Energy exchange. Now you're giving it back to the universe. And you're cultivating. You're not waiting anymore. You're taking initiative in your life. You're leading. There's a balance that we all hang into. You have to give love and you have to receive love. Don't feel guilty for making money. That's basic life 101, okay? We all deserve to have our abundance and friendship, love, a balance of eating the right way. There's so many different balances out there. I'm not going to go through the entire list. But you have to listen, too. You're not balancing the universe giving you everything you want unless you give back to the universe by doing the work within yourself. So just know that, you know, now that you're on your path, you follow that guiding light and it will bring you home. But timing is everything. And I have a sense that a lot of people towards summer and fall are really going to be finding those divine unions. They're going to, and divine union is not just meeting somebody else. Okay, the divine union is also in here. That divine union of really cultivating who we are and finally letting it simmer to the surface and leading with our own, here I go, I can't talk again. Now I literally just lost the word and I just said it a few minutes ago. We're taking initiative, okay? Initiative doesn't have place for self-doubt. And when you lead with that, that's when that divine union comes in with somebody else. You have to be whole. Four Swords. See, now the cards are going to repeat themselves, so I'm not going to keep on going. Be careful of who's in your home. And be careful of how you create your home. Your home is to be honored. And so is your emotions. So is your soul. Honor yourself and lay with love. Have a good day, guys.